Alright, so in this problem I have 5 to the power of x is equal to 7. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the log on both sides. So now I have log 5 to the power of x is equal to log 7. Now if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can simply move this exponent b to the front. So this is going to equal b times log a. So in this case, I have log 5 to the power of x. So I can move x to the front. So now I'm going to have x times log 5 is equal to log 7. Now, to simplify this, the value of log 5, this is equal to approximately 0.8451. Log 5, this is actually equal to 0.6990. And log 7, this is equal to 0.8451. So these are my two values for log 5 and log 7. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start by dividing both sides by log 5. So then these two cancel out. And now I'm going to be left with x is equal to log 7 over log 5. Now, I know that log 7, this is equal to 0.8451. And log 5, this is equal to 0.6990. So now I have 0.8451 over 0.6990, which is equal to 1.2090. So this is my answer. So now to check, first start with 5 to the power of x equals 7. I know that x equals 1.2090, so I have 5 to the power of 1.2090 is equal to 7. Now, 5 to the power of 1.2090, that's equal to approximately 6.99, so I have 6.99 equals 7. And 6.99 rounds up to 7, so I have 7 equals 7. And because this is right, my solution is right. Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this algebraic equation. Now, make sure to stick at the end of the video, where I have 3 bonus problems that are similar to this one, which you guys can try to solve. Alright, so I have x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 2 plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. So I want to find the value of x. So for my solution, first start with x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 2 plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. So now, from x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 2, I'm actually going to factor out x to the power of 2. So now I have x to the power of 2 times, well, x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 2 is simply just x, plus x to the power of 2 divided by x to the power of 2 is 1. So I have x to the power of 2 times x plus 1, plus, simply all I'm left with is x plus 1. So this is equal to 0. Now, if I factor out x plus 1 from this, I get x plus 1 times x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. So, from here, I get two equations. I have x plus 1 is equal to 0, and I have x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. So for x plus 1 equals 0, simply subtract 1 on both sides, these two cancel out. Now I'm left with x is equal to negative 1. So this is one solution of x. Now, for x squared plus 1 equals 0, I'm going to first start by subtracting 1 on both sides. So now these two 1s cancel out, and now I have x squared is equal to negative 1. Well, now I'm going to take the square root on both sides. So now I have the square root of x squared is equal to the square root of negative 1. Now the square root of x squared, that's simply equal to x. So if x equals square root of negative 1, well, it's actually positive or negative square root of negative 1. And if you guys already didn't know, the square root of negative 1 is actually equal to I, the imaginary number I. So now, if I replace the square root of negative 1 with I get x is equal to positive or negative I. So my three solutions to this problem are negative 1, I, and negative I. Sorry, negative I. So these are my solutions. Alright, so in this problem, I have 5 to the power of 1000 minus 5 to the power of 998. So, to solve this, I'm going to first substitute in 1000, I'm going to first change 1000 to 998 plus 2, because 1000 equals 998 plus 2. So I have 5 to the power of 998 plus 2 minus 5 to the power of 998. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So in this case, 5 to the power of 998 plus 2, this is going to equal 5 to the power of 998 times 5 to the power of 2. And I have this minus 5 to the power of 998. So now, I'm going to factor out 5 to the power of 998. So now I have 5 to the power of 998 times 5 to the power of 2 minus 1. And 5 to the power of 2, that's simply equal to 25. So I have 5 to the power of 998 times 25 minus 1. And 25 minus 1 is 24. So I'm left with 5 to the power of 998 times 24, which can also be written as 5 to the power of 98 times 24. So this is my answer. Now I actually have a second method of solving this problem. So again, I first start with 5 to the power of 1000 minus 5 to the power of 998. Now in this time, instead of changing 1000, I'm going to change 998 to 5 to the power of 1000 minus 2. And now this is the same thing as 5 to the power of 1000 plus negative 2. Now remember, if I have something to form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So in this case, 5 to the power of 1000 plus negative 2, that's going to equal 5 to the power of 1000 times 5 to the power of negative 2. Now from here, I can go ahead and factor out 5 to the power of 1000. So I have 5 to the power of 1000 times 1 minus 5 to the power of negative 2. Now this is the same thing as 5 to the power of 1000 times 1 minus 1 over 25. And 1 minus 1 over 25, that's going to equal 24 over 25. So I have 5 to the power of 1000 times 24 over 25. So this is my answer. Guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have x squared plus x squared is equal to x to the power of 4. Now what I'm first going to do is I'm going to subtract x to the power of 4 on both sides. So now we have x squared plus x squared is equal to, or sorry, minus x to the power 4 is equal to 0. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out the greatest common factor of all these terms, which is actually x squared. So now we have x squared times x squared divided by x squared is 1 plus x squared divided by x squared is 1 minus x to the power 4 divided by x squared. Well, if we have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So x to the power 4 over x to the power of 2, that's x to the power of 4 minus 2, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So this would be x squared. And this is equal to 0. Now 1 plus 1 is 2, so now we have x squared times 2 minus x squared equal to 0. And now this gives us two equations. Our first equation is x squared is equal to 0. And our second equation is 2 minus x squared is equal to 0. Now for x squared equals 0, well, this is simple. The only number that's squared is that equals 0 is simply just 0. So for this, we have x is equal to 0. That is one solution. Now for a second equation, I'm going to add x squared on both sides. So now we get 2 is equal to x squared. And now if I take the square root on both sides, I get plus or minus the square root of 2 is equal to x. So these are two more solutions to this equation.